Hello, this is Shirish again. In my last videos, we were talking about the reincarnation and law of karmas. Many of these things are totally interdependent. One can have a question as to we do the karmas and they are stored, and once they are stored, part of it comes out in our next life. Some of that we continue to do, new ones appear in this life, and some of them are stored. So if you remember, we had used a couple of words. One was sanchit karma, that means the stored up. Kriyaman is what we actually do in this life, and then there is the prarabdha. So the prarabdha is the one that we come in this life, and these are going to come to fruition. But the question arises, how did the first karma occurred? And this is literally like asking whether the chicken is first or the egg is first, because there is no end to the questioning. The philosophical thinking in this part from Hinduism is that these cycles continue forever. There is no beginning, there is no end. So the universe comes into existence and goes out again in singularity, and then again it is reformed and it again goes into the singularity, and this particular cycle continues. If actually you would see in this particular life, everything is cycles. I mentioned this before, the moon moves around the earth and the several planets move around the sun and the solar system moves around something else. And so the movement, even at a microcosm, like at the nucleus of an atom, again the same thing you will see. And there is a space that is enormous compared to the actual matter. So anyway, these particular cycles continue. So at the end of the cycle, when the universe is going to be destroyed or goes into a singularity, all the bhutas, as they call it, will get into the singularity with their everything else, and when the new cycle will start, they will reappear. So truly speaking, this is a continuation, simply like a video screen which has no end or beginning. So one cannot ask what was the first karma that brought us to do anything, or how was our first life determined. So that is not a cop-out, but that is the answer that is given. But one must know the origin of the universe to really see how different things conceptually are formed. I mentioned this briefly in some of the videos, that the origin of the universe, when the universe has gone into a singularity, it is perfectly in balance. We have a concept of three gunas or three qualities: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Activating is rajasic, pure is sattvic, and laziness is tamasic. And these three gunas are present in everyone. Predominant one guna makes our life. The sattvic guna is predominant in teachers and priests. The rajasic guna is predominant in people who are doers and the fighters and the soldiers. And mixture of that leads to the business-like activity. But tamasic is common when people have alcohol, laziness, etc. Now, again, I meant excessive alcohol, excessive drugs, excessive smoking. That is a quality of tamasic. Just to make it very clear, pure presence of one guna is rare or none. So, for example, the stone has completely tamasic. There is no sattvic, there is no rajasic, there is no activating, there is no pure quality. But these gunas, in association with the five great element, as we call it, five pancha mahabhuta, they actually produce the human body, or they are represented in the human body. Just to say it, just to state it, the 5 great elements, when they are combined with 3 gunas, they produce stuff, or they produce different parts of our body. The 5 great elements are the space, which is referred to as ether, the wind, which is referred to as vayu, then the fire, which is referred to as tej, then the water, which is referred to as apa, and the last one is an earth. So each one has representation in our body. The space is represented with ear, or hearing. The wind is referred to as represented in skin. The fire is in eyes. The water is in taste or tongue, and the earth is nose. Now you have to realize that each one has one quality that could be perceived. And the last one, which is the earth, has all 5 qualities. That means you can taste earth, smell earth, feel earth, see earth, and it has a space. While if you take the water, there are only 4. You cannot smell the water. If you take the fire or the eyes, and then it has only 3, and the skin has 2, and the space has only 1. So this is a progression of perceiving of the various organs. Just to make it clear that when there is a disturbance in the singularity, it is called guna shobhini. That disturbance creates a mahatattva, which could be considered as a universal ego or ahankar. We call it ego when it is related to an individual body, but there is a universal mahatattva. And then there is a change in these big elements. Now, please do not confuse these big elements with the daily water, daily earth, daily fire that we see. It is not in their pure form when they are Pancha Mahabhuta, but they are changed. They are changed in such a way, and then they combine to form different things. Now, if you remember from my previous lectures, there are 5 organs of action, and then there are 5 organs of perception, and then there are 5 substratum, which means these things that actually we perceive. For example, we call it, I talk, I touch, I see as a structure or the shape, and then there is a smell, and then there is a rasa, which is the taste. So these 5, the substratum for something to have these 5 things is produced by combination of tamoguna with the 5 elements, each one forming, as I just mentioned it to you, different 5 substratum, which we can perceive with our organs of perception. So when the Sattvaguna combines with 5 great elements, we have 5 organs of perception, which include eyes, ear, taste, smell, touch. And when the Rajoguna combines with this 5 great element, it forms organs of action, hands, legs, procreation, excretion, and speech. And these 5 gunas, or the 5 organs of action, need substratum, which were mentioned before, which were produced by tamoguna. So it's a combination of 3 gunas with 5 great elements, that these different organs of perception, different organs of action, and substratum for each is formed. I think we'll talk about origin of universe a little bit more next time. Thank you for watching. If you like this, please subscribe to it. Have a nice day.